What is an adult problem that nobody prepared you for? The mental load of remembering everything that needs to be done and project managing it all. House repairs, improvements, finances, cleaning, laundry, bills, hiring people to do things, trips to the vet for vaccines, groceries, car maintenance, and the list goes on. It takes up too much room in my head. I'm just gonna reply here to all the people saying use a calendar or journal. I've explained that I already use a calendar for almost things in another comment. I describe myself as a highly organized person. I have to be at my job, and that crosses over into my personal life. I'm not actively trying to remember things only in my head, only to complain about it on Reddit. Just because I've written something in a calendar does not mean that this thing or task no longer takes up room in my head. And that's the point of my response to Opus. It continues to take up that room due to the anxiety of actually getting it done. It's also impossible to write down every little thing that needs to be done, because frankly I'd spend more time writing in my calendar than actually getting shit done. Additionally, the list doesn't cover things that crop up at the time. For instance, you've planned to clean, say, the bedroom tonight and find something that belongs in another room, so go there to tidy it away, only to discover something else that needs done. We cannot write down every little thing. This 100%. I hate all these comments saying to get a planner, set calendar reminders, have a routine. Of course you know all these things, and probably have them already set. The question is not how to solve these adult problems. It is about what adult problems are difficult. The mental load is ridiculously high for modern society. My point is, I do all the right shit too, but just organizing and tackling stuff in home life is exhausting. When you do it 40 hours per week for work already, you are not alone. Being tired all the fucking time. Bruh, I went out with my friend the other night. I'm usually in bed by 10. Stayed out till 2. Was asleep by 3. Didn't have a sip of alcohol and needed a day of recovery. I used to party all night, then be back at work to manage a restaurant at 8 AM, then go out and do it again the next night. This getting older shit is no joke. Ever heard of crack? Being sued by the guy who crashed into me from behind. I had this happen to me. I was run off the road in the early morning by a truck that was in the wrong lane round a blind corner. My car rolled several times and ended up in the road. People stopped to help and everything. Then they ducked out the way as a truck from the local electric company came around one of the Good Samaritan cars and barreled into my car on its side. Spun us 270 degrees. Later the electric company tried suing me for damage to the truck they hit me with. Front and rear dash cams are pretty affordable these days, and turn that into an easy counter lawsuit. The childishness of other adults. Right here is the ultimate comment. I thought when I graduated from college the workplace would be full of serious people. Oh god, was I wrong? There is so much childish behavior with adults that it amazes me our society functions at all. I have almost come to terms with this. I'm in my early 30s. I was taught to respect those older than me. So I found it very hard to not think, you're older, thank me, aren't you supposed to know better? WTF. Having to figure out what to eat 3 times a day. F that, just eat twice. For real, I used to just not eat because I didn't know what to have, or I didn't feel like cooking just for me. Kids change that quick. They aren't cool with just not eating. Office politics. High school was teaching you that My first employer was a young tech company. Aside from the big wigs, president, vice president, etc., the majority of the company was younger than 30. And it was a blast. Everyone got along usually. My current employer, most people are above 40s. And it is like high school drama all over again. So much political BS and the majority of leaders act like entitled children. So much scapegoating and name blaming. So many fake people and relationships. I don't get it. Aging parents. I intellectually knew my parents were aging, but I recently walked face first into something that made me actually face it. My dad has always organized his garage to within an inch of its life. I went into his garage the other day, and it was a disaster. Like, I knew he had been diagnosed with some dementia, but I didn't see it until I actually saw it. This one has really hit me several times in the last decade or so. Just looking at your folks and being struck by how much they now look like your grandparents used to. When to call a repairman and when you can amateurly fix it yourself. When to know a tradesman, plumber, auto mechanic, dentist, etc. is scamming you or actually doing their job. You wanna give them the professional benefit of the doubt too, but shit happens all the time. Do I really have to be a Renaissance man in order to properly vet someone to do what they say they're gonna do? Fixed my washing machine on my own, $25 in parts, 30 minutes of YouTube. Less than an hour of work. Saved $250 if not more. I felt so accomplished. How much every injury you had as a kid didn't really heal. It just lay dormant until you woke up on your 38th birthday. Now it hurts all the time. Shit, I turn 38 in 2 months. Are all of my broken bones going to come back to haunt me? I busted the cartilage in my knee as a tween, and if I have a bad day now, it's just like here, random clicking and locking of your limb, plus the random back pain of you slept funny on your mattress. I used to be able to sleep on floors and other things, but now, it's like the mattress is 1/110th of an inch away from the edge. Now you wake up with back pain.